Good evening, welcome back. It's Matt Rogers. It's the 20th of the 5th, 2017. Timestamp is 21:34, and I'm away at the moment with family, but I just wanted to show you these images again. This radiation that's up there from the sun, there's so much trash that's up there as well, and these colours again. We're seeing this red reflection all the time. Also on the land, on the Alaska cams, we see the same red reflection. This morning on sunrise here in the UK, you could see the sun had been seriously chemtrailed. There was these strange lines in the skies as well, as if the chemtrails are being pushed away as the sun is up on the horizon. You could see this flashing on the screen on the NASA cam as well. The changes of colours as well, as the sun is kind of darkening. So I'm going to go and look at different images and footage on other cams around the world. And please have a safe evening, and I hope you're having a great weekend. This is a live cam in Mexico. It's a Cosmo Ponente cam, and you can see that timestamp is 10:36 AM on the 20th today of the 5th, 2017. They're in daylight right now as the northern hemisphere is in night time. And I just want to show you this huge reflection on this cam. Just here you will see a red reflection, okay? This red colour in the skies, and it goes down the way. Watch this. Can you see this? This is a huge reflection from an object that's out there in space. And we're seeing these red reflections from space as well, that's reflecting off the International Space Station. And it's reflecting on the Earth as well. This is what they're hiding from us. This huge celestial reflection. It's so evident now, isn't it? Here it is again. I apologise about these white screens all the time. This is what the powers to be cover up. You can see this now as well, can't you? This huge celestial reflection. It's on the opposite side of where the sun comes up. So we need to really keep an eye on these reflections. I've said this all the time. Can you see this? There's a line here, there's a gap, there's something that's being cloaked. Can you see this neat line either side? Just astonishing how they're getting away with this. Here again, this is what they do. They throwing all the trash up there towards the sun. Look at this piece of footage. All the time we're seeing this object in the sky that's going down on the horizon. Look at all the trash in the sky all the time. They're covering these huge objects up there in the heavens. Here's another Mexico image as well. Okay, this is the San Joaquin cam in Mexico, and the timestamp up there on the right hand side is 6:44 and 5 seconds. And I want to show you this as well on this cam, this red reflection that comes through, and it starts being chemtrailed very quickly, and we're seeing this on the opposite side when the sun rises in the morning skies over there in Mexico. You can see this, you can see the red haze starting to come through now, can't you? And now you can see these chem lines. Can you see this? Very important to see this. There's something that's rising up on the opposite side again. You can see it so evident. See these lines in the skies. There's something coming up on the opposite side. We're seeing this now, aren't we? Again, this red reflection. This is not our sun. This is another heavenly body that's being chemtrailed. And I believe this is the object that's causing all the earthquakes, that's causing our sun to be very, very active at the moment. There's far too much going on out there in space now. We're seeing these huge, very huge reflections now. Here on this cam again as well, I want to show you some of these huge reflections that we're seeing out there on the sundown, and we're seeing the same reflections over here in the UK, and also subscribers are sending emails and saying they are seeing the same chems, the same amount of trash being thrown up there in front of our sight of the sun that's out there in the inner solar system. You can see this colour, this separate colour of yellow from another object, and this red reflection as well, this reflection we're seeing on the NASA cams, this blue haze. There's many objects out there now that have they're throwing all sorts of chemicals at it now to try and stop humanity seeing this whole scenario of a situation right now. I mean, look at the you never saw this, did you, in the past? We all never saw this, but now it's slowly coming to a point that the powers to be, are very worried about our sun and our earth. We don't want to be burnt, do we? I don't want to be sending out any sort of fear to the subscribers and viewers, but I'm just wanting to show you what I see on the images, these colourings and these changes of our skies. That's all I want to do, to show you that they have seriously changed. I mean, look at this. There's another object in front of the sun. This is a reflection from something else that's in front of our sun. The colour that you saw on the other image, this yellow reflection. Something's there, and it isn't going to go away. It's going to head right close towards our Earth, and we are going to be in a lot of trouble right now, because when this huge shift occurs, that is it. The Earth will be cleansed of all the evilness that's going on right now around the world. Look at this panoramica cam in Mexico as well. I mean, it's like an oil painting. I mean, look at the state of the sky. It's so evident now, isn't it, that something is going to happen. It really is. It's getting worse, isn't it? I mean, look at all the different pieces of trash that they've put up there. Look at it. I mean, you can see this yellow reflection again. I mean, all of it. These are not our natural clouds. And on the land, these Mexicans, these poor, genuine people down there on the land, are breathing it in. The past civilizations, the Sumerians, the Celts, other civilizations from the past, saw those heavenly objects coming in. They didn't have all this trash. The government are trying to depopulate us. The Vatican-run CIA companies, they're all at it. It's all a huge agenda. I've spotted an object on this Gargella cam in Mexico as well. This object here doesn't move when the sun's moving across the sky. You can see this, can't you? Something faded up there. You can see these craters or something. There's something on it, isn't there? Very strange shapes. Just looks absolutely spectacular, doesn't it? But the thing is, it's up there, isn't it? You can see that reflection, can't you? So I just thought I'd show you this this footage. I'm going to zoom into this. I'm zoomed in now, okay? Again, the Mexico cams, they're not 100% clear, but you can just see that something's there, can't you? Just below the sun there. And I want to show you this as well. Hold on. Can you see the rays of light coming more stronger on the right hand side here with this with the sun and also this simulator object? But look to the left. It's being dimmed, isn't it, and darkened, and there's an object here. Now, we've seen this also on the Alaska cams. As the sun goes past, it's darker to the left hand side. Something is being cloaked. It really is. And it's got to a point now that these celestial bodies are affecting everything now. they are affecting us. Humanity, plant life, everything is being affected by this huge celestial body that's been lurking out there for many years, and it's slowly falling apart right round us now, isn't it? This is the Puerto Vallarta cam, and I want to point out a few things here on this cam image as well, if you can see very closely. First of all, there's an object that's reflecting here. Can you see this line up here? There's something that's reflecting. And also, as the sun goes down, we see all the trash once more being sprayed in the skies, because we've got the binary object that's to the right hand side. Now, the evidence on this cam is showing as the sun goes down and disappears, you'll see the colour of it as well, this to yellow, and then also then we get a huge red reflection splashing straight across our chems in the evening sky. It's not from the sun, it's from the binary twin Nemesis. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flick through this cam now, and then I'm going to stop and pause it on the red reflection. Okay, let's get the cam running. It's going to be slow, okay? And also, again, I apologise about the Mexican white screens that always come up on these cams. But it's good to keep viewing them because it's showing evidence. So as you can see the sun coming down, you can see that there's an object that's not going down with it, it's staying there up in the skies. Can you see this? You can see all the trash that's being spilled around everywhere on the cam with these chemtrails all the time. And the sun again is just evident that it's becoming white hot. I mean, it looks like it's ready to explode. It's that strange now, isn't it? This white reflection on the land that seems to be a lot darker than our normal Sol, the sun. You can see those chemtrails again, and this hexagon shaped sun as well as it's going down on the horizon. So I'm going to show you this reflection as the sun goes down. You'll see this as it's going down. All those chemtrails being pumped up in the sky by the military around the world. It's a huge agenda. It's like the New World Order is now. Now look at this, right? It's very important. I'll pause this now. Okay? And I'll flick through the cam. Every single military agent around the world is doing this now. The governments have been doing this all the time under our noses now. There's another light source here. Can you see this? Right, watch this. As the sun, the Sol goes down on the horizon, you can see this just going down now, and you'll see this other reflection, this red reflection we're seeing all the time. Can you see where they've chemtrailed a lot more on the right hand side as the sun's gone down to the left hand side? The sun has gone down now, okay? It's gone down on the horizon, you can see this. It's going down on the horizon now. Can you see this glow coming up from the left hand side? This is so evident that there is another heavenly body to be Nemesis on the left hand side out there in the inner solar system. Can you see this red haze that's spurted across the sky? Look at this. This is coming from the other side. We've seen this all the time. This is a reflection from Nemesis, the binary twin. The sun, the Sol, has gone down on the horizon. We saw this, okay, on this cam. Now, can you see that red reflection coming from another heavenly body? This red reflection is with the chemtrails here. You can see that, can't you? Can you see this little line first of all on the screen? Here, the sun has gone down, and we're getting a ray from the binary twin. It's here. It really is here. And people have got to prepare for this huge event. I urge people early in the morning tomorrow to look at the sun as it's rising. You will see the amount of chems that they're pumping up there, and also you'll see that red reflection. It disappears, but it comes into play. It's very, very serious. Here as well, on this other part of the footage as well, it's very important. As the binary twin is going down on the horizon as well, all you're getting is this red reflection that's in front of the sun and us now. But look at this line in the sky, it disappears as it's going down. Can you see this? This is another object, Nemesis. It's going down on the horizon now. The sun has already gone down. There's the other reflection. Okay, I'm just going to show you one more time, okay? Now, you can see again on the screen, you can see that. The sun, okay? There's a reflection from the sun. And then watch this. As the sun's going down, you will see this red reflection coming up on the other side. The sun's gone down, and look at this flare of red reflection that I've been saying all along. Can you see this? Build up, and then it's there. And it goes down. Just one more time for everyone as well. Just want to show you this. I've zoomed in on the piece of footage as well. And you can see again evidence there that the sun is going down on the horizon. Okay, you will get a widescreen. I apologise about this. Just remember this object now, the sun has gone down on the horizon. It's gone. And you see all this misty chems. And here's the array of redness from the binary twin that's coming. Complete different area. Okay, it's coming from here. Don't forget the sun's gone down on the horizon. Here's this red reflection coming from the binary twin. Here it is. I'm going to go to another cam image now, but it's so evident now, isn't it? We are heading for a huge pole shift. Okay, this is another cam. This is a Campeche Apana America cam in Mexico. Timestamp there is 6 AM and 6 seconds. And I want to show you this huge red reflection. Now, this is so evident, isn't it? Because again, we've seen this on the NASA cams. Okay? And I want to show you this as well. It's very important. If we go through the cam, you will see a huge red reflection from Nibiru. This red array that's in the skies. And as I said before, that the Mexicans are sending images in, and also messages, Mexican subscribers that have of seeing these red skies all the time now. It's the same colour as what we're seeing on the NASA Ustream cams. This red haze all the time. Can you see this line in the skies as well? There is an object up there, and I really mean that humanity needs to prepare for this now. They really do. It's so important, because we're seeing those huge reflections up in the skies, and it's so evident that Nibiru is a huge, very real, dangerous object that's heading close to our Earth. It's been doing this on this ecliptic orbit for a very long time. It's been here before, and the reflections now are showing. This is the Cabo San Lucas cam, and this is in Mexico as well. I've just brought the screen down slightly as well. I mean, you can see those chems, can't you, up in the sky there? Look, we're seeing this. It's not our natural clouding. Part of the system from the military to cool our planet down. And again here on this image, and we've looked at this image for the past good few years, and it's never been as bright as this. The sun is so bright now, it's going to get unbearable, isn't it? It's going to become white hot looking. It's going to become unbearable for all of us. We're all going to be wanting to stay indoors. We're not going to be wanting to go out. I'm going to go through this cam. Okay, now I've started the cam off, and we've got a real big problem on our hands right now, because this cam is showing a huge reflection from an object that's acting like a comet. Is this the red Kachina? I don't know, but you will see this now on the screen as I tap through it. Can you see this flare that's coming up on the screen here? This is not from our sun. Watch how it goes down on the horizon. Can you see this? Here it is again. And then it disappears. That is outstanding. I mean, we are seeing these red reflections now in the skies on the Mexico cams. Timestamp is the 20th of the 5th, 2017. The image hasn't been doctored. It is a genuine Mexico cam image. And it's 6:32 4 seconds. It's gone. This huge celestial object is so close now. I mean, it's moving across the sky like a comet. It's so... I mean, you can see the evidence there, can't you now? I mean, the sun hasn't even come up on the opposite side. It's gone. I mean, we're seeing it now, aren't we? We are seeing these colours now in the skies now. So at the end of the day, it's as simple as that we're in a binary system. We have the sun's companion twin with us now, with the sun between us and our celestial object, the soul. And this is why the sun is burning and it's acting very strange and it's looking far too bright than any other year that I've ever seen it. And this is why the whole system is erratic, behaving very oddly up there in the heavens right now, and all those chemtrails are being sprayed to stop the whole situation affecting our Earth. But it's going to affect our Earth. It's only going to get worse. Because Earth has been through a whole pole shift situation before in the past. As the brown dwarf star passed our Earth, we can see the evidence up there now. So take care, and I'll be back again very shortly. And respect to you all from Matt Rogers.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Get some coffee and calm down. Matter of fact, I take my coffee very seriously. I really do. Matter of fact, I got this when I was in out east. Yes, I take my coffee seriously. Very seriously. Are you seriously serious about your serious coffee? You should be. What? Because that's how important it is. In these days, and when you start talking about NASA, when you start talking about FEMA, when you start talking about asteroids, then you start talking about the unthinkable, But folks, deep impact is going to happen. Matter of fact, you know, we already had information about FEMA camps. FEMA and NASA putting together a drill for the unthinkable, an asteroid deep impact to hit Los Angeles, California. And what do? Well, the possibility has existed, folks, on the pages of Hollywood scripts, but in what may be, folks, a real life case is NASA and FEMA and other government agencies engaged in a planetary protection exercise to consider the potential devastation consequences of a 330-foot asteroid hitting the Earth with a deep impact. You can go to Revelation chapter 8, verse 8. We can read of two deep impacts that are going to hit the Earth somewhere on this planet in the book of Revelation. It's going to happen. Now, the simulation projected the worst case blast wave by an asteroid strike, that it would happen in the year 2020. I want you to keep that in mind. Why in the world are they preparing for a deep impact for the year 2020 unless they know, potentially, could they know of one on the way. Anyway, they say that it would level structures for 30 miles, require a mass evacuation of Los Angeles area, and cause tens of thousands of casualties. In 1998, you might remember the movie Armageddon. It was a very drama-filled movie with even greater fictional threat. In that blockbuster film, a ragtag crew were sent on a mission to drill into the asteroid and to set off a nuclear bomb. Sounds like Vladimir Putin's plan in Russia to avert the global catastrophe. And as the character, Harry Stamper, also known as Bruce Willis, summed up his crewmates, the United States government just asked us to go save the world. Well, don't expect that kind of a response by Hollywood heroics in real life. However, an asteroid that could cause such damage has no significant chance of striking the Earth within the next century. That's according to NASA. Really? I have to go on the record, NASA. Never a straight answer, NASA. Never a straight answer. But NASA, you have told us that there's 1,743 near-Earth objects coming toward the Earth, of which you can give us the name of them, how big they are, and when they're going to go whizzing by my head. Yet none of them you project to hit us. Yet we've had deep impacts. The one over Russia. You didn't tell us about that one. You didn't tell us that was coming. The one over Australia 2 months ago. You didn't tell us about that one. The one that hit Argentina and killed a person. You didn't tell us about that one. All of them, every deep impact that we've had, NASA has never listed it as going to happen. They only list the ones that's going to miss. So how can I believe you, NASA? How can I believe FEMA when you have 850 FEMA camps and you won't tell us they even exist or why they exist? But what you have done is you're preparing for a deep impact. And that's the one true thing you're doing. There will be a deep impact. The Bible has already prophesied it. Matter of fact, if you're in Revelation chapter 8, here's what it says. It's Revelation 8:8. And the second angel sounded, and it, as it were a great mountain, burning with fire, was cast into the sea, and a third part of the sea became blood. And a third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. And a third part of the ships were destroyed. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. And it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter or poisonous, or filled with radiation from space. Wormwood. Now, wormwood is also mentioned in the book of Amos, chapter 5. No one ever talks about this prophecy. One, they don't even know it's there, and two, if they did, they don't dare breathe it, that it is a part of the same event. It's prophetic. Is it referring to Planet X? Is Planet X bringing about so many asteroids that a deep impact will cause the wormwood? Well, here's what it says in Amos chapter 5. If you read, and it says in the scripture, verse 7, Ye who turn judgment to wormwood, and leave off righteousness in the earth, seek him that maketh the 7 stars and Orion, and turneth the shadow of death into the morning, and maketh the day dark with night, and calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. So we're certainly talking about an earthquake and tsunami. Certainly he mentions wormwood, and he says it in the same breath with the 7 stars and Orion. Now, if you read the book of Job, chapter 38, Job talks about Orion and who can loose the bands of Orion. And whenever the astronomers were in Chile in December of last year, they spotted Planet X. It was confirmed by NASA that it was Planet X, the same planet that NASA discovered in 1985. They seen it in the constellation of what? Orion. Has God released the bands? Is that what? Because God told Job, can you do it? Can you release the bands of Orion? Of course Job couldn't. God is saying, but I can. And folks, if he's released it, they're seeing it now in the constellation of Orion, headed in this direction. It will bring judgment and wormwood and earthquakes and tsunamis, as according to the Amos prophecy and the book of Revelation. And, of course, Zechariah chapter 14 tells you that the Lord will return upon the Mount of Olives and split it in half. And the waters will flow from the hinder sea, from the former sea to the hinder sea. In other words, create a massive tsunami right through the land of Israel. So, are you serious? Are you serious? Something biblical is going on with the signs of the second coming of Christ. We're going to talk about these prophecies in today's broadcast. NASA, FEMA, and Wormwood headed in a collision course with prophecy. I'll be right back with more in just a moment. Are you saved? Jesus is the way.
They're covering these huge objects up there in the heavens. Here's another Mexico image as well. Okay, this is the San Joaquin cam in Mexico, and the timestamp up there on the right hand side is 6:44 and 5 seconds. And I want to show you this as well on this cam, this red reflection that comes through, and it starts being chemtrailed very quickly. And we're seeing this on the opposite side when the sun rises in the morning skies over there in Mexico. You can see this, you can see the red haze starting to come through now, can't you? And now you can see these chem lines. Can you see this? Very important to see this. There's something that's rising up on the opposite side again. You can see it so evident. See these lines in the skies. There's something coming up on the opposite side. We're seeing this now, aren't we? Again, this red reflection. This is not around the world. And please have a safe evening, and I hope you're having a great weekend. This is a live cam in Mexico. It's a Cosmo Ponente cam, and you can see that timestamp is 10:36 a.m. on the 20th today of the 5th 2017. They're in daylight right now as the northern hemisphere is in night time. And I just want to show you this huge reflection on this cam. Just here you will see a red reflection, okay? This red colour in the skies, and it goes down the way. Watch this. Can you see this? This is a huge reflection from an object that's out there in space. And we're seeing these red reflections from space as well, that's reflecting off the International Space Station. And it's reflecting on the Earth as well. This is what they're hiding from us. This huge celestial reflection. Good evening, welcome back. It's Matt Rogers. It's the 20th of the 5th, 2017. Timestamp is 21:34, and I'm away at the moment with family, but I just wanted to show you these images again. This radiation that's up there from the sun. There's so much trash that's up there as well. And these colours again. We're seeing this red reflection all the time. Also on the land, on the Alaska cams, we see the same red reflection. This morning on sunrise here in the UK, you could see the sun had been seriously chemtrailed. There was these strange lines in the skies as well, as if the chemtrails are being pushed away as the sun is up on the horizon. You could see this flashing on the screen on the NASA cam as well. The change of colours as well as the sun is kind of darkening. So I'm going to go and look at different images and footage on other cams of our sun. This is another heavenly body that's being chemtrailed. And I believe this is the object that's causing all the earthquakes, that's causing our sun to be very, very active at the moment. There's far too much going on out there in space now. We're seeing these huge, very huge reflections now. Here on this cam again as well, I want to show you some of these huge reflections that we're seeing out there on the sundown. And we're seeing the same reflections over here in the UK. And also subscribers are sending emails and saying they are seeing the same chems, the same amount of trash being thrown up there in front of our sight of the sun that's out there in the inner solar system. You can see this colour, this separate colour of yellow from another object. And this red reflection as well. This reflection we're seeing on the NASA cams. This blue haze. There's many objects out there now. It's so evident now, isn't it? Here it is again. I apologise about these white screens all the time. This is what the powers to be cover up. You can see this now as well, can't you? This huge celestial reflection. It's on the opposite side of where the sun comes up. So we need to really keep an eye on these reflections. I've said this all the time. Can you see this? There's a line here, there's a gap, there's something that's being cloaked. Can you see this neat line either side? Just astonishing how they're getting away with this. Here again, this is what they do. They throwing all the trash up there towards the sun. Look at this piece of footage. All the time we're seeing this object in the sky that's going down on the horizon. Look at all the trash in the sky all the time.